Welcome to the Wrecked by Fiction podcast.
That's not a comfort read.
Yes, it is. Did I read it on my lunch break? Yeah.
So I made notes because I didn't know if there was going to be a quiz.
Hey, everything is for a grade. While I was watching a movie with my 6-year-old, yeah. I didn't know I could be both right and so fucking wrong. Wrecked by Fiction, where we read, cry, and question our emotional stability.
Hi, friend.
Hi.
I've missed you.
I miss you too. So today we're going to talk about Kate Stewart.
Yes.
And the Ravenhood series. So we're going to start with book 1. And Flock was my first introduction to Kate Stewart. I had never read anything prior to this book. But it was recommended by so many different people that I communicate with inside the book community.
Right.
And I didn't know anything. I prefer to go in completely blind.
I get that.
So I didn't look it up. I didn't read the back. I didn't read anything. All I knew is that it was a little bit dirty and a whole lot fucked up.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Agreed.
So.
Yeah. Book 1 doesn't quite get into all of it, but the whole series is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that we want to start a little bit without the, not heavy spoilers.
Right.
So we're not going to go super deep right away. But I want to kind of, we know main characters. We've got Cecilia and we've got Dom and Sean. Mm-hmm. And you get a little bit of Tyler sprinkled in there.
He's such a cutie.
Oh my God. When Tyler was introduced, I thought that the book was going to be about him and Cecilia.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I hoped that the book was going to be about.
I kind of thought he was going to swoop in.
Yeah.
And be like, you don't want that one. Let's go this way.
Yeah, well. Tyler's a whole different ball of wax.
Right?
So, compared to the other men in this series so far. So,
for sure.
What do you have down that is non-spoiling?
So I made notes because I didn't know if there was going to be a quiz after I read the book.
Hey, everything is for a grade.
So some of it is just descriptors of the characters,
sure.
Right? So talking about how in the prologue Cecilia is 26, right? But then jumps back to when she's 19. Mm-hmm. And initially I had to go back and re-listen because when they started where she was 19, I was like, what did I miss? Hang on. And so I had to go re-listen to that the first time. But yeah, anyway. And then talking about how, why she is going back to Triple Falls. Or to Triple Falls, I guess not back, but going to Triple Falls to be with her dad and that whole thing. I did somewhat relate to her relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
Mostly because I didn't have that growing up either. So it was kind of like, okay. Their reasoning is obviously very different from mine. But yeah.
Cecilia is something else.
Yeah.
I think too, Cecilia's relationship with her dad and leaving, where she grew up with her mom and that change for her was so interesting. I remember when you started reading and you were like, wait, this is the future.
Yeah.
And then you texted me when it jumped back after the first 17 pages or whatever.
Yeah.
And it says, oh, I'm 19 now. And you're like, wait, why do I know how it ends?
Yeah.
When in reality, that's just Kate Stewart fucking with your brain because you don't know how it ends.
Yeah. She likes to do that.
Yeah. She does
cruel,
like to do that. But. I do think, though, that Cecilia's relationship with her dad is the way that it is described in the beginning of the book is fundamental to understanding why Cecilia is the way she is.
Right.
Because she is incredibly naive.
Yes.
Really throughout this specific book.
Yeah.
throughout all of book 1, she is incredibly naive. She describes herself as broken or cursed because she is a hopeless romantic.
Right.
And believes in the fairy tale ending and that she will eventually get that for herself.
There were so many times I wanted to shake her and be like, what are you doing? Just stop. Stop getting in your own way.
Well, I think, oh my God, so my biggest issue with, well, maybe not the biggest, one of my issues with this specific book is the miscommunication piece, which is so heavy with Sean and Cecilia, and really every man and Cecilia in her life in general.
Yes.
Her dad, Sean, Dom, every single man introduced.
Yes.
And miscommunication is my least favorite book trope.
Same.
Which we have discussed because I'm just like, just talk to each other. I cannot grasp.
No.
Especially because when we're reading, especially romance books, but you get that kind of internal dialogue.
Yes.
Where they're talking to themselves or the men are talking to each other. And then Cecilia's just on the outside. And she's like, da, 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 da. Yeah. Everything is pretty and Triple Falls is beautiful and I love my life. And these men are all over here like, you don't know anything.
No. Yeah. Meanwhile, my brain has already calculated all of the 50,000 steps that she's missed. And I'm like, woman.
And I want to dig into kind of the deeper stuff. And so that we are going to go a little bit spoilery.
Right.
So, and what I tell everyone in my life and what I have told you is like, if I know you're never going to read this book, so I'm going to tell you every single plot line that is important because I need to shed whatever this story is out of my bloodstream. And so now in the listening experience is the time to like maybe fast forward the next 15 minutes.
Right.
If you don't want to hear exactly is going on with Cecilia and Sean and Dom.
Because we're diving in.
Yeah, we're going in. Spelunking. What the fuck was that? So, okay. You said you wanted to shake Cecilia so many times.
Yes.
So this series for me was so interesting because I typically am able to do that, right? Where you pick up things. Mm-hmm. But so many, because I went in completely blind. So many times in this book, I was like, what the fuck is actually happening? And I was like, I just have to keep going.
Yeah.
That obviously is not what happened with you.
No.
You were piecing together. Was it because of the way Sean talked or was it other things?
Probably the way that Sean talks, but also just my personal background plays a part of that too.
Because of the cop's daughter situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just tend to pick up on
that's interesting.
Clues and things like that most people don't.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we know now in Flock that Sean is essentially trying to work his way around not spilling the beans.
Correct.
By leaving Cecilia little tiny hints about things.
Right.
Weaving them into the conversation so that he hopes she figures it out on her own.
Right.
How many times do you think Cecilia thought she figured it out? And in reality, she had not yet.
Several.
Do you think by the end of Flock she knew? For sure? You think she didn't?
No.
Not all the way anyway.
No.
Because we get into where she's all in with Sean and Dom is testing the waters.
Right.
Which is quite, now that I think I just said that, That's
literally
testing the waters, because that is their first intimate scene altogether. Is on the dock or float
in the water,
on the floats or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think for me, Sean, you texted me so many times telling me how much you hated him. You're like, he is so dumb.
Yes.
I don't think that Sean is dumb. I do think that he is fucking lonely.
I could see that.
I think that he is carrying what he believes to be this massive thing.
Yes.
And not to minimize it, because it is huge what they're doing as the Ravenhood. But he doesn't feel like he can rely on anybody, because Dom disappears. Dom has his own thing.
Right.
Tyler carries his own piece. Everybody carries their own piece.
Right.
And Sean is like the face.
That makes sense.
And so him being able to see Cecilia and be like, oh, well, maybe she can carry some of this with me.
Yeah, I could see how he's hoping for that. I think she's too young and doesn't.
Oh, for sure.
It's way too much for her to fully understand.
And she can't grasp it, because at this point in Flock, she doesn't know anything about why they started the Ravenhood, where it came from.
Right.
Up until this point, she still calls Dom the Frenchman.
Right.
And I remember them meeting at the, opening scene with everyone when they're at the party, and she looks at him and is yelling at Dom about, him being the Frenchman just because he has a slight accent.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'm pretty sure, we can probably find the page, where her internal monologue says, I thought he would have more of an accent. Right.
But she didn't key in on that and think that there could be someone else.
Right. Yeah. She hadn't pieced this. And again, her naivety is wild.
Right.
So, okay.
To be young and dumb again.
Oh my God, to be 19. Imagine to be 19 again. So, Cecilia's piecing bits of it together. She thinks she's got it figured out. She doesn't. Sean can't tell her.
Right.
Dom hates everyone and everything. And Tyler is peak golden retriever energy. I want to talk a little bit about Dom's aunt.
Yes.
Because that relationship in Flock is touched on just a couple of times, but you see a different side of Dom because of it.
Yes.
And Tyler too. That's really all you really get to know about Tyler in this book is his relationship with Dom's aunt.
Yeah.
Cecilia initially asks Tyler to take her to Delphine's house to clean because she's sick, super sick, right? And we know from the original meeting of Cecilia and Delphine that Cecilia doesn't necessarily believe in God.
Right.
But she believes in love.
Yeah.
Did you laugh?
I did.
I can see on your face that you laughed. So when she sits there and she tells Delphine a story from the Bible.
It was almost out of place for me. Mostly because Cecilia talks about not being religious, right? Like it never comes up. And so but all of a sudden she's got this verse memorized.
Yeah.
So that was strange.
And all of these feelings about God and how Delphine is so strong and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I also kind of get it because I spent years going to church and I don't know.
Were you able to separate that piece from... Because if it feels out of place, were you able to just walk away from it?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
I just kind of related it to, okay, maybe she memorized that one in like some Bible study group or something, right?
Right.
Maybe there was something that one was studied for some reason or whatever, because I've been there, done that. I couldn't tell you any Bible verses at this point in my life. I don't
Maybe
remember any
only
of them.
the ones that they scream at queer people.
Right.
That's probably the only Bible verses I could quote to you, but they would all be wrong.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So for me, that scene with Delphine showed not only a different side of Dom.
Yes.
Because you get a glimpse at his relationship with Delphine, which is huge going forward in the series. You don't really get another glimpse of it in Flock.
Right.
But Cecilia, to me, it
That was cute.
It showed a different type of vulnerability.
Yes.
And again, this is wrecked by fiction. I read books that fuck me up because that's what they do, right? And so finding those pieces of vulnerability are why I read.
Right.
And so seeing Cecilia in that, which to me, yes, it was out of place. You could pull it from the book entirely and it wouldn't make a difference on the story.
Right.
That's not a piece you need. And for me, that's why it was there.
I would say that you don't necessarily need it for Cecilia, but it is nice to have it for Dom, right? So having it to where it does show that other side of him.
Right.
Because I will say it was a part where I found myself actually liking him more because of it. It was a scene that helped change my perspective on Dom, where I was kind of on the fence with him. I wasn't a huge fan of Sean. I felt like Sean was manipulative in a way, and it kept making me wonder, is this a mentally abusive relationship? Like, is he gaslighting her?
Okay.
Kind of thing, versus Dom just being like, flat out, I'm not telling you shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're just not gonna go there. But then seeing him being so caring for Delphine made me go, okay, him being so cruel and brash is a front. And he doesn't really necessarily want to be that way, but he's trying to protect whatever this secret is that they have.
What they've built.
Right. And so this is his boundary, his wall that he's put up. But he's softening because he is getting feelings for Cecilia.
That's interesting because I think when I read it, I couldn't separate the way that Dom was with Delphine. I didn't see it as tender.
Okay.
I saw it as, I think, for me, it was written in a way that was meant to be perceived as like embarrassment when he didn't want anyone to go there.
I could see that.
And then Cecilia comes in the house, and Dom's like, "What is happening?
Right.
No one is supposed to be here." And then she goes on her own, and she asks Tyler because she knows something secret,
right?
Which nobody else has really caught on to about Tyler and Delphine.
Right.
So I think that the character development there for Dom, I do agree with you that that's probably why those scenes with Delphine were placed, especially as strategically as they were.
Right.
I think too. So you go from Dom having this wall up to everyone, including Cecilia, and even the men that he's working alongside, right?
Yeah.
And then flash forward to Dom in bed on the rainy days, and they're reading, and they kind of he still has this firm boundary set with Cecilia that he's like, you want adventure, you want excitement, you want outside,
right?
You go to Sean.
Yeah, that's not me.
Yeah, he's like, we are not that.
Right.
You want movies and books and not talking? Right. I'm here.
Yeah.
I do agree with you on it feels a little gaslighty on Sean's part, especially through Flock.
Yes.
And I don't think that gets cleared up at all. Even so, you said that there is, so in the ebook and the print, there is a bonus chapter. You are an audiobook reader.
Correct.
That was not included. So for other people who do audiobook only, which is your primary form of consumption.
Yes.
You read it before we started.
I got to glance it.
How did you feel like it? So for me, because it's essentially the middle of the story, and it's just another piece of Sean being Sean,
right?
And not giving Cecilia any answers,
right?
I think that specific bonus chapter where essentially Sean is just asking her, like, "Are you ready? Are you all in? Because I can't tell you anything until you're all in."
Right.
And he's just constantly asking her, "Are you here? Are you done? Are you ready? Are you over it?"
I think it was just eating at him. And he wanted it so bad, but couldn't just come out and tell her.
Yeah.
So.
Those were the rules that he had to follow. And I think that to me, in that scene, Cecilia didn't even know how to answer. Because as much as she wanted to give him what he wanted, as naive as she was, I don't think that I think she recognized that she wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I think she could see enough of what was going on. Because we get to the end of Flock, and as the reader, you still don't know exactly what is happening with the Ravenhood and why they are in existence and what they're doing.
Yeah.
This book, number one, is one of the, in my opinion, it rates pretty high on that best/worst cliffhanger.
Yes.
Because in the best way, which I think most cliffhanger books should end this way, which is just like a last line quote.
Yes.
Where it's dialogue and then they cut off.
Yeah.
And Flock ends that way, which is the introduction of the actual Frenchman. Which is, for our next visit down the Ravenhood series lane. So I made you read it. You read it because of me.
I did read it because of you. But I did like it.
Was it worth it?
It was absolutely worth it. It did not break my... Well...
This one
did not break my heart.
Okay.
It did not. But we've talked about it. For me, I need more of a realistic kind of scenario. Like the whole daughter of a multimillionaire kind of...
You didn't relate.
No.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I need characters I can relate to.
I think too, so I cry at lots of things. I get attached to characters very, very easily. That's not a difficult feat for me.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated with this book because of that lack of communication.
Yes.
I hated it. I was like, I cannot listen to Sean one more time tell her that he can't tell her what's going on.
Yeah.
But...
And for her to not figure out what she needed to do to be able to get there.
Yeah, and because he fed her.
Right.
Like, line by line, what she had to do.
Yeah.
And she couldn't figure it out.
Right.
That was very frustrating.
Agreed.
I think we have discussed before that you need that relatability. You need that real life piece. And so when I recommended this book for us to read and discuss together, I thought that this would be kind of like a slam fucking dunk in that. I'm not going to lie. I thought that you were going to get attached because it's contemporary romance.
Yeah.
Personally, I classify it as more of like a thriller romance.
I would agree with that.
For me, because of that air of mystery that you get, especially through the first two books.
Right.
So I really did not think... I remember being slightly disappointed at the occasional check-in texts, being like, oh my God, she doesn't like it. Oh my God. And then, as you continued reading, there were some moments where I was like, oh, okay, we're going to get some good feelings about this. Yeah. And this book specifically hit me with Delphine. That was really the emotional piece for me.
I could see
in Flock. Her battle with addiction, her level of hopelessness.
Right.
That's where I got stuck.
Yeah.
And I was just so damn frustrated. I just didn't give a shit about the main characters. My heart broke for a side character.
Right.
Because the level of frustration with the main characters was so high.
Yeah.
So.
I can understand that. I will say, and I know that we'll get into it later, but Exodus did draw me in a bit more.
Yes.
So I did get slightly more attached in that book than I did in Flock.
Well, and we're going to talk about Exodus next time. So I do think that if you had to tell someone whether or not to read this book, and you didn't know them or their life story, would you tell them to read this book?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think there's enough there?
I do. I might put a caveat that book one is more of a setup, right? Like you're not going to get a whole lot out of it.
Okay.
But give it the first, do the first book, get to the second one. The second one's going to be the one that draws you in.
It's worth getting through the kind of, in the fantasy realm, we like to say world building.
Yes. Yeah.
You think that Flock is essentially world building in this contemporary romance book.
Yeah.
I could see that. You get some backstory on, really just on Cecilia. And then little bits and pieces of other characters.
Right.
And that's really it. There's not a lot of deep diving into characters specifically that happens in round 2. So, okay. I would say that, obviously, if you hate a cliffhanger, don't read this book.
Right. Or at least have Exodus ready to roll.
Right. It needs to be locked and loaded.
You've got to have it ready to go right
If you're reading on your Kindle, download both at the same time.
Yep.
If you're, using a, library app where you have to wait in line to rent books.
If you don't have enough Audible credits to get both at the same time, don't do it. Just wait.
Because it leaves on that one piece of dialogue.
Yes.
And then you're cut off.
Yep.
And, in the print copy, you get the first chapter of Exodus.
That is true. You do.
So it's not totally a cliffhanger, which is interesting to me that they do that. But I gave, Flock alone. I'm not rating it as a series. I've got to remember not to rate things as a series because it is very different once you have finished the whole universe, right?
Yeah.
Flock itself, I probably, because I was so frustrated, my first read through, I probably would have given it a 3.5 stars out of 5.
I could see that.
Solid. The foundation is there.
Right.
But the miscommunication trope is so low on my list of likes.
I don't even like it in real life. I definitely don't want it in a book.
I don't need it in a book.
Right.
Give me real conversation.
Yes.
Give me open and honest.
Yes.
And Sean not being a big fat liar.
Give me hope that men actually know how to communicate.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, and Dom doesn't talk at all.
No.
And that's like one of his main character things is that he literally just doesn't talk.
Yeah.
So the miscommunication is high in this book. Yes. So if that's not for you,
then move on.
And the thing is, for me, because eventually we will discuss the other 2 books.
Right.
And possibly further than that.
Yeah.
If miscommunication, if that trope is not for you, if it's too much, if that's a hard pass on your book reads list,
this is not your
don't
series.
read this series.
No.
You shouldn't.
No. Because it doesn't end at book 1.
No, it doesn't get better. It doesn't get better. It continues on.
Yeah.
Forever.
Forever.
It's like one of the main tropes throughout the entire series. So yeah, just not for you. And considering I hate it so much, I read every book.
You did.
Quickly.
You're just a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
That's why I read these books. Because they break me over and over and over again. So, okay. So you would recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it 3.5 stars. Do you have a chaos rating or something of the like that you would recommend?
I mean, there is a lot of chaos in this book.
So the chaos rating is high, is what you're saying.
It's probably off the charts.
Okay.
With the chaos rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
There's a lot of it.
Man. Flock. I don't really know. If there was like one line, I probably would just go back to you could start on page 1 and the whole description of the book is Cecilia talking about how cursed she is.
Right.
That to me is very much like, we're going to go in. Ready?
Do it.
Cecilia says, the first 4 words are, I grew up sick.
Yeah.
And she goes on about how she believed in love and all of that stuff. She thinks that it broke her. She thinks that essentially love killed her.
Right. And
that she's a ghost now and she's floating through her life. And I think that perfectly describes the way that this book kind of rounds itself out.
Right.
Because Cecilia is a fucking ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And she continues. However, Cecilia does grow up.
She does.
And we get a little more badass.
She does.
And we get a little more intense. And we get a little more, I don't take shit from no man.
Right. I was very proud of her in the 3rd book.
She did good.
She did good.
I do think that we get more of Cecilia. I know that we kind of struggled with her naivety and her childishness in this book, but it is so important to remember that she is 19.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the prologue again is this, it's the future, right?
Right.
So she's saying all of this after
everything
Flock has happened.
Yeah.
After her heart was broken.
Yeah.
After she has no idea what happened.
Right.
And she's a ghost. She is ceasing to exist.
Yeah.
At that point by the end of the first book.
Right.
Because a bunch of grown men decided to keep a very, very, very serious secret. That's it. And she was too little to understand. Mm-hmm. Did you write a Goodreads? You don't use Goodreads.
I don't. I have a Goodreads, but I don't get on there often enough.
Okay.
I need to be better about that.
Well, we're going to link our Goodreads account.
Yes.
Wrecked by Fiction will have a Goodreads account. So as we talk about things,
it'll be on there.
The dates that we talked about them, that's when they're going to be uploaded onto our account. Yep. We're going to be on TikTok. We're going to be Instagram. We're going to be Facebook.
All the places.
Every place. If you want to see our face, you can probably see it somewhere on the internet.
Yep. If you want to.
God
Please don't be cruel. We're just 2 moms. Be kind.
Who read a lot of dirty books. We didn't even talk about the sex in this book yet.
Right.
So
and if you know us in real life, no you don't.
No, if you know Amanda in real life, no you don't. So I don't give a shit. But find us on the internet. Yep. We're going to have another episode about Exodus coming sooner than later. And we're going to round it out with Finish Line. And if I can convince Amanda to read the Legacy series, maybe her heart will actually break. So in the comment section, tell Amanda that you don't care that she doesn't love Dom, but you need her to read One Last Rainy Day, and that Delphine might be an alcoholic, but you need to read Severed Heart. Okay. So
I will work on it. You had me switch gears to go into...
Yeah, we're going fantasy.
Yeah.
I know.
That other series.
We're going to go fantasy.
On the struggle bus.
We're going to read a lot of things. Well, let me rephrase. I have read a lot of things.
Yes.
You're going to read a lot of things so that we can talk about it.
Yeah, I have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Proud of you.
Proud of you. Yay.
We did it.
We did it.
Wrecked by Fiction is recorded and produced by Westhouse Productions. They handle all the audio, video, and post-production, so we get a clean sound, smooth edits, and zero tech headaches. Westhouse Productions aligns with podcasts, live music, and creative projects that want to sound professional without losing their edge.